And we are here.
Yes, sir. We're here. What's up, guys? Monday night hangout time. I'm here with my boy Steven. He has not been
Yep.
here for a while, but it's good to
Been
see
a
him
little
back.
while. Good to be back, of course.
What feels like 20 years, but in reality, it's been 4 months.
Yeah, right?
It feels like 20 years.
It's only
Like,
been like 4 months though, but it's been a while. Sorry for that, by the way. But I'm glad to be back. And yeah.
yeah, it's good to have you back.
There is so while we're here, I want to go over. I haven't seen a lot of new films from this year in particular, but I wanted to ask what some of your favorites of the year are, Luke, in case you
So,
haven't announced them lately.
so you want my top 10 or
Top 10 if you'd like, or top 5.
let me go to my letterbox quick. Don't cheat.
I'm not gonna cheat and look at it. Don't worry. I'm looking at
Okay,
my
because
diary right now.
I'm just trying to make sure I can trust you with that. Okay.
I you can trust me. I wouldn't ask a question I know the answer to.
Got it. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so number 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually just gonna pull out the ones that are on the list that I do have.
Okay.
Like I gathered all them out.
Already got them all
So,
prepared.
um, see, so my number 10. This one was actually my number one for quite a while, actually, at one point, which was I Saw the TV Glow.
But it got
Really,
bumped off, I'm assuming.
no, it's at number 10,
Well, I mean
but
bumped off from number 1, I mean.
there. Okay, good
Yeah,
clarification.
that's what I meant to say. My bad.
Yeah, good clarification. Yeah, this one got bumped off at number one by quite a bit, actually. But I'm still not going to hide the fact this film is great. So
Where would it rank in your A24 films? If you were to
probably
ballpark guess.
maybe top 10,
Okay.
maybe top 10, top 15. But right now, I'm going to stick with top 10.
Got it.
Okay. Number 9 is Alien Romulus. Good job, Fede Alvarez. You lived up to the hype.
Would you say that he fixed the problems with the franchise?
Absolutely. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, some people have their complaints about the third act. I think the third act is actually incredible. It actually takes some really bold choices.
Okay.
So there's that.
All right.
Number 8.
Mhm.
Some people may not have expected this to be in my top 10, but it's Beetlejuice.
I'm a little surprised that it's that high. I haven't seen
I am a
either
massive
Beetlejuice
fan of
film.
the original Beetlejuice, and
Okay.
to see that they made a sequel near like just as good 36 years later, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper.
That's good. I've never seen the original, but I want to since I love Tim Burton's practical sets, his fun gothic atmosphere. So I definitely got to get around to both films at some point.
Well, Beetlejuice hits digital tomorrow, so I think you're in luck.
Right. I'll probably wait for a little bit of a price drop on the digital because what I like to do is I like to rent on Prime or Vudu, and then if I like it, I end up getting it physically on Blu-ray. So that's sort of like how I play things. Like $5.99 is usually like my renting sweet spot.
There, yeah. But sometimes if it's like a film I really want to see, then I'll
Oh
just go
yeah,
ahead and buy it straight through Vudu.
like Frankie Frico is a film I really want to watch, and I'm gonna get that like immediate once it hits digital.
There's a couple films on this list that I bought immediately digitally because I really wanted to watch them, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
And then 7 through 1.
All right, 7. I know you disagree with this one, but it's okay. Deadpool and Wolverine.
I do, you know that.
Yeah, I figured you out.
But look, I was particularly rough on that film. I probably should give it another chance. But I didn't care for it as opposed to the first two Deadpool films, and even compared to Logan, even though it's an alternate Logan. But I respect the opinion.
Yeah, that was just a film that
Mm-hmm.
that was honestly kind of a film I honestly just loved watching in the theater
Fair enough.
because I've seen in the theaters as of right now out of the top 10. I saw Beetlejuice twice and I saw Deadpool 3 times.
Mm.
So
Okay.
so yeah, there's that for you. Hold on. Okay, number 6 is one of the films I bought immediately on digital because I really wanted to watch it. And if you guys saw my double bill watch along I did, go check that out. It's Cuckoo.
I've heard of it. It's a thriller, I believe.
It's so freaking good. I would say it's more like an offbeat horror movie.
Okay.
Is the best way I can describe it. And Hunter Schafer is definitely going to be a star on the rise after this.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Stevens, he's been having a hell of a year, dude.
Well, I do like Dan Stevens quite a bit. And yeah, he was in Abigail. He was in apparently this film, which I haven't seen yet.
And GXK.
And GXK?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's been quite a bit of stuff. Always a good actor, so I'll probably have to get around to Cuckoo eventually.
Yeah, I loved him in Cuckoo. And then number 5 is the other example because everybody was talking about it. Like nobody would shut the fuck up about it. So I watched it, and the hype was real, which is Strange Darling.
I've heard of that. That's I think it's a serial killer film.
It's a serial killer film that's told in a non-linear structure. Like, it's told through chapters, but it's told in out of order sequence.
So, like, the timeline within, like, the killer killing is out of order in when the movie tells it, basically.
I'm not going to spoil anything else. Like, I'll just tell you that much. Like, go into the film knowing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then when you finish it, tell me how you feel.
All right. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Definitely should there, buddy.
I just saw you pull out one of them, so I'm assuming I know what one of them is. I don't know what the other titles you pulled, though, are.
I pulled 3 of them because 4 through 2 I own.
Right.
So number 4, as of right now, I've seen this. This is the one that I've seen the most this year. I know what you're thinking. It's Beekeeper. Nope. It's not Beekeeper.
It's
Monkey Man.
Monkey Man. Okay.
I love this film. I love it so much.
I remember when the hype around it started forming around. You started. You were really excited to see it, and wow, it looks like it lived up to the hype. I mean, shout out to Dev Patel for almost hurting himself and for the performance. Really, really admirable.
Yeah, he went through a lot to get that movie made. Like,
yeah,
like getting 2 broken toes, an eye infection, a torn shoulder, and breaking his hand in the first action scene.
Damn.
Like in the first action sequence, like in the bathroom, he ended up breaking his hand, but he told his producer, "Don't say anything. Let's just keep filming." And by the end of the day, his hand felt and looked like an elephant's foot.
Oh, yuck.
So
he probably had to go to the hospital.
They shot the film during COVID.
Oh.
So it was just this one bubble with like 450 people at least. And so he had to find a way to get around the system by getting a cheap medical private jet to keep in the COVID bubble. So he flew down to Jakarta that night after they filmed the action sequence, and the doctor put a screw in his hand.
Oh.
And says, you cannot put more than a pound or 2 of pressure on it, because otherwise it's like pulling a bent nail out of wood, and we will not be able to take it out.
Right.
So with some of the action sequences, he had to do some stuff one-handed.
Yeah. I hope his hand's not permanently like that.
Much pressure on his hand, the
nail will bend outwards, and his bone will be fucked.
Yeah, like there's no way he's gonna be able to get it to heal.
I hope he's not like that for good, or I mean, I'm sure by now, maybe it's healed up. to the point where he doesn't need the nail, but I don't know.
No, but
That
he
sucks.
was lucky enough to still be
Yeah.
able to get the screw out.
Thank God, right?
Yeah, like I got, and I will say this though, this is like the major complaint I hear from so many people about Monkey Man.
What?
I don't mind the shaky cam. Like there is an overabundance of shaky cam, like
Ooh.
a lot of it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be clear about this. I prefer shaky cam over quick cuts.
You
Because
know
quick
what?
cuts, in my opinion, are
Thinking about
lazier
it,
to film an
yeah.
action scene.
Well, it's not that they're lazier, it's that they're a little bit more jarring. Because with the quick cut, like if you edit super fucking fast, you almost blink and you miss it, and you can't even tell what the fuck you watch. So with shaky cam, I can be okay with it. I don't like it, but I'd rather it all any day of the week.
But here's the thing, though. Like the reason why there is a lot of it, though, I'll give you the
Mhm.
reason. The film also underwent a lot of budget cuts, so
Mhm.
the only way they could really film it is either with iPhones or GoPros.
So they didn't have like a lot of good stationary cameras, basically.
Not like something that Christopher Nolan would have. Like,
Damn.
what were you guys expecting? Like a Christopher Nolan cinematography kind of movie?
Well, I mean, look, the fact that it got made and turned out as good as it did sounds like it's a miracle.
Yeah, and it. I mean, hell, sometimes like if I really want to just get some exercise, I practice some of the fight choreography from the film.
Just
Because
don't get a nail in your hand, buddy, okay?
I know it's
Because
just
the doctor has to put it in there.
the one I mostly practice is the kitchen fight.
Okay. I'll have to watch the movie for the context, but I definitely do plan on adding it. Looks interesting.
But I think it's better if you like. I think it's one of those films that definitely adds more value if you do watch it at home because of the shaky cam.
Right, at the theater, it's very not that it's in the theater anymore, but at the theater, I can imagine it's very jarring.
I never even felt nauseated for a second though. That's the weird thing.
Huh.
Because I guess I don't get motion sickness.
Well, that's good.
I don't know what it was like when I saw Twisters the first time. I kind of felt like I did because I ended up getting sick. But
Oof.
but then I thought back for a second and I was like, maybe it was the burger I ate the night before that wasn't fully cooked.
Yeah, undercooked meat would probably be a factor.
And plus, I was having some popcorn and some caffeine free
So,
caffeine free root beer.
that'll do it. That'll do
So,
it.
but thankfully, it only happened me puking on the floor within like the last like 10 minutes.
Well, thank God it was only in the last 10 minutes, right?
I stayed for the rest of the movie because
Damn though, you
I
puked?
knew I was gonna have to. I still stayed.
Well, there you go.
I stayed, but
As
even
long as you
then it
didn't
still
puke
didn't.
on yourself, that would have made it probably very uncomfortable.
I got a little bit on myself, but
Uh,
yeah, I got a little bit on myself, but most of it went on the floor.
it's all good. It happens to the best of us, man.
Yeah. So that's what happened, and then
Mm-hmm.
it didn't. I'll just tell you this: it didn't ruin my experience, but even
But
then,
it
when that
dampened
happened,
it.
what?
It dampened it. It put it down a peg a little bit.
No, it wasn't. It didn't ruin my experience like whatsoever. Like I'll be clear about that. It didn't ruin it at all
Okay.
because I was still loving the film as it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the film's slow pacing that kind of took it back for me on the first watch.
That's right. I've heard it's a kind of like a slow burn action movie, from what I've
It's
heard.
not. It's not just them chasing tornadoes the entire movie. They slow down to build out characters
Okay.
that you can actually care about. I mean, Glenn Howell's character might seem a little douchey when you first meet him, but like he has character growth, so he's not like a complete douche.
Fair.
So yeah, I mean, I kind of knew he wasn't gonna be a complete jerkbag. like throughout the film because he has charisma. Like I've seen it in him. Like I know he has the charm.
Right. Glenn Powell's usually that kind of guy that could play like a smart assy kind of character, a douchebag kind of character, and still be insanely likable. I mean, look at Top Gun Maverick, he was very likable. And he still had that, like, he was like not completely a dick in that movie, like especially towards the end.
Even though, like for most of it, he was like the Iceman of that one.
Oh yeah, no, he was a dick in that movie for a good chunk of it.
But then the thing I like most about him, like as an actor, if he acts like that, then he actually gives himself time to build range.
True.
So
that was your number. Monkey Man was your number 4, you said, right?
Yep, you're correct.
Okay.
And then number 3, we were just talking about it, Abigail. Love that movie.
I respect that. Not for me personally, but I can respect it.
This one was also a number 1 for a little bit. Before I saw my number 1 a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Number 2 is Longlegs.
The Nicolas Cage movie.
Yep, he plays as the serial killer. That's the title.
Longlegs.
He doesn't actually have long legs, let's be clear.
Right.
And I've had comments about that in my review, and I'm like, this dude didn't have long legs at all. And I'm like, that's not the purpose. I'm like, are you guys that dumb? Like, he's a serial killer.
False advertising. I was expecting like a daddy long leg spider Nicolas Cage. God damn it. I'm just messing with you. But okay, I've heard that movie's very fucked up. They've actually I started seeing them stock it at my local Walmart, so you know.
Sorry. My thing went off for a second. But I've even had people give me shit about the film, like for how much I love it in my comments.
Why? Is it like a divisive film? I've heard it's pretty good.
For the most part, I've heard it's great, but then there's some people that come on and it's like, dude, you must not watch a lot of movies because that was hilariously bad.
Can't imagine it's that bad.
It's not even funny. Like, that movie's actually pretty intense. Like,
I'll have to check it out.
But my number 1, you might be shocked by this, Steven. My number 1 is an animated movie.
Okay.
And no, it's not Inside Out 2, in case you're wondering.
I'm having a feeling as to what it is. There's not many animated movies that have come out this year that made the splash.
What do you think it is?
Wild Robot?
Correctamundo, dude. It's the Wild Robot.
Is it really that good? Everyone's been saying it's like DreamWorks' best movie. Like better than Puss in Boots 2.
I'm actually going to attest to it. Don't go in expecting that.
Whoa.
I'm going to attest to it, but don't go in expecting that because just because that's how we feel about it doesn't mean you should expect that.
Right. That's setting a bar very high.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like, even if
Puss in Boots 2.
Like, if I call a film a masterpiece, like, if I love it that much, it's like, then don't come at me for it. Like, I'll just tell you, don't expect that because you'll be disappointed.
Right.
Like, if I say that, I'm still trying to help you maintain your expectations.
Wow. I mean, obviously, yeah, I know to moderate my expectations. That's with anything, but I'm just surprised that even you would put it above all those other movies. But it must be good. I'll have to check it out.
You really should, man. Let's see. Let's hit the comments here because we've been really leaving behind. Hunter says, "Hey Luke, I watched Saturday Night. It's so damn good. My theater actually might be getting that this weekend." So I'm
not really a big SNL guy, so I don't know. We'll see with me.
You know what it's about, right?
It's about Saturday Night Live, right?
It's about the first hour and a half before the airing of the very first episode of Saturday Night Live.
Huh.
And you got Gabriel LaBelle from The Fabelmans playing as Lorne Michaels.
So it's like literally like set in the studio right before the episode airs. Luke? Did you freeze? Or is that
happening?
my
But
huh?
I don't know what keeps happening. But really quick, I'm going to refresh, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll look at some of these comments in the meantime. Hey, Jared. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. It's been a while. Top 4 Letterboxd movies. The Crow, Shawshank Redemption, Hard Boiled, and Die Hard are mine. But
there you go. I'll talk about mine later, but okay, we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter asked, "Did you see Joker Folie à Deux?" I have, and I hated it.
I have not seen it, and I've heard horrible things about it. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I already know the spoilers, and I'm surprised they even went that route. Wow.
I'll tell you one thing though.
Mm-hmm.
There is a part like when Harvey Dent is asking this one doctor about Arthur's mental illness. The doctor thinks apparently that he's faking the mental illness, and I'm like, did you just exploit mental health? Like, you really did that. Like, why would you do that? Okay, sorry about that little tangent, but
it's fine.
As for someone who has mental health issues, that offended me.
Fair.
That they thought that he was actually faking his illness.
Right.
Let's see. Grant's here. What's up?
Hey, Grant.
Soulless Trenchcoat's here. What's up? Hunter says, my mother finished watching Long Legs and she felt so uneasy. Interesting.
Huh. Nicolas Cage has had a hell of a lot to work with in these past 5 years. Hi, Tiana.
What's up, Tiana? What's up, Jared?
Howdy, Jared.
You know what? That's true.
No,
that's true.
That's 100% true.
Because peeing or pooping yourself is way more embarrassing.
100%.
Same here.
I love it.
Let me get to my I'm gonna look at mine quick.
Okay.
Or my Letterboxd top 4, because again my memory leaves me.
Right,
okay.
No, that makes sense.
So it is Trainspotting, Hellraiser, The Crow, and Top Gun Maverick.
Solid picks. Hellraiser's still your favorite horror movie, I believe, right?
Yes, it is.
Gotcha.
Well, that was obviously from 1 to 4, like how it's obviously played out.
Right.
That was how it was. I should have prefaced beforehand, because now The Crow is at my number 3.
So The Crow's your third favorite film, and the Hellraiser's number 2, Trainspotting's number 1, and Maverick's number 4.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, just that recent watch of The Crow did it for me. Like,
it's a great movie. It's my favorite.
I remembered why I loved it so much.
It's so good.
And like why I love this story.
It is a masterpiece. I'm going to show it to my friends in a little bit, like probably a few days from now. After the whole Milton thing, we're gonna get together and watch that. They've never seen it before. Really
I have to. Mm-hmm. There's this girl that I like that I talk to at work. She doesn't really watch much action movies.
Yes.
But this is going to be the exception. I'm going to show her this movie at some point.
She'll love it. Listen, I showed that movie to everyone I know, and they all loved it. The only person that hasn't seen it is my brother, and I plan on changing that.
You do need to change that.
Yeah.
Because this film is incredible.
So I'm going to assume now, I don't know what your number 5 is. I'm assuming it's, what's your number 5?
It is Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. That's your 5th favorite film. So I'm going to assume that The Crow is now your favorite action movie ever.
Not just my favorite action movie, my favorite comic book movie.
Your favorite comic book movie. And I'm assuming that Top Gun Maverick's your second because of the order. And that they, because I asked this because I know that Crank 1 and 2 were your favorites for a while.
Yeah, but they're still in my top 10 for sure. Like, they're both awesome movies, but it's just now, like, rewatching The Crow honestly did the trick for me.
Absolutely. Good pick. Soul's Trenchcoat's top 4.
Let's see. He's got The Goonies. Let's go. The Lost Boys. There you go.
There you go.
Original Pet Sematary. Okay. Bold choice. And Heathers. Good choices. Joker Foley Adieu could have been better if it wasn't a musical. The only reason why it was a damn musical was due to Lady Gaga. That's true.
And that's probably where most of the budget went, was hiring Lady Gaga.
Yep. And yeah, definitely go see The Wild Robot. There's Soul's Trenchcoat. Honestly, I think The Wild Robot has potential to win the Best Animated Feature award. Let's see. Hunter's top 4 are Goodfellas, Top Gun Maverick, Interview with the Vampire, and Oppenheimer. Good picks.
Interesting picks.
Those are some really good picks.
I like 2 out of those 4 movies. I haven't seen Interview with the Vampire and Oppenheimer, though I do own Oppenheimer on 4K.
Right. When it comes to animation, my top 4 are Wild Robot, Toy Story 3, Shrek 2, and The Incredibles.
Good list.
So, solid picks there, my friend. So, absolutely. I 1,000% agree. And like you, I mean, for anybody else that has The Crow as their favorite movie, I can't blame you entirely. It's an incredible film.
It really is. I got to get like a 1-sheet poster of that movie at some point and get it framed.
I have a t-shirt for The Crow now. So
you know what? I don't even have that. You know what I do have though is I have the original graphic novel. I just it's a little bit scuffed up, so I want to get like a hardcover of it because I do want to read the original book because for my favorite movie, I'm surprised I haven't read the book. You know what I mean?
Right.
I almost
yeah.
feel like that's sacrilegious, but I gotta get around to that. That's for me at least. I'm not saying that everyone has to read the book or anything, but I do feel like I want to read it at some point. But
yeah, you ready to see this?
What? You roboted a little bit. I can't see you. You're frozen.
I did it again. Sorry.
Oh, damn it. You got the Steelbook. I wanted that so bad, damn. That's cool as shit, though. I have the 4K. I do not have the Steelbook. I missed out on that pre-order.
I actually found this at a Walmart, believe it or not.
You did? They still had it in stock?
Back in May was when I found it. So
wow.
That was when I found this. And recently I just
got the slipcover version
because I love this poster.
I love that slipcover too. It's great.
And plus I love that poster and hence the background as well.
Yep. I also kind of
that is how much I love The Crow.
I also kind of wish that I got the other Steelbook that I think was a Target variant. I'm
not sure if it was actually.
Yeah, but there was another Steelbook. I know that much.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely gotta bob that in now every spooky season because it technically is.
It takes place on Devil's Night, Halloween.
Not just Devil's Night.
Halloween.
It also Halloween, yeah, but
that's what they call it in the movie.
Oh, in the film, yeah, they call it Devil's Night. Yeah. Forgot about that, but
it's all good.
But that's the reason why. That's one of the reasons why we do count it as a horror movie.
And even if it didn't, it's kind of got like this gothic atmosphere that's pretty Halloween-y.
The gothic atmosphere definitely kind of plays it as like horror adjacent element, which I would definitely put it on. Why? Because it's so damn good. Like, and plus when I looked a little bit more into the story about, like, I knew what happened on set with what happened with Brandon Lee.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked a little bit deeper into what actually happened, that I think that's actually what kind of rose the bar a little bit more for me.
Yeah,
Like,
as sad as
because
it
the
is,
night
it
because
kind
the
of
night he was
does.
killed was actually the day before he was supposed to get married.
That's fucked.
That's
That's
what that's
absolutely.
what makes it all the more tragic.
You know, they also cut a bunch of stuff from the movie. I think the movie's fine the way it is, but they originally were supposed to have like I think a little bit more gore. And there was a character in the comic book. I believe the name was Skull Cowboy, if I'm not mistaken. He was like a sort of like a supernatural antagonistic, not really antagonistic, I don't know, character in the comic book that they filmed his scenes with, but they never made the final cut. And you know who portrayed him in the practical effects?
Who's that?
Fuck, who's that guy from Hills Have Eyes? The ball man, the
Shit.
bald guy from the original one from the 70s. He's been in a couple of other B movies. Let me look it
No.
up.
Yeah, look it up because I don't know his name.
Oh my god! But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but it's just
Michael
I don't remember.
Berryman. Yes, Michael
Michael
Berryman.
Berryman. Gotcha.
Yes, he was originally supposed to play Skull Cowboy in The Crow, or yeah, Skull Cowboy in The Crow. They had him in makeup and everything,
Then his
but
scenes got
his
cut.
role was cut. Yeah, I think it works the way it is because I think that it probably worked good in the graphic novel, but I think they lent in just enough supernatural without going too overboard. I think The Crow in and of itself was enough of that. So, like, I mean, the actual bird and the spirit. So I think that's
Yeah,
fine.
and plus
There's
like the
even
spirit bringing somebody back from the dead, like
Mhm.
that's dark in and of itself. So
Here's an image. I could probably show you in the private chat. Here's an image of Michael Berryman with Sarah's actress. I just looked it up on Google, and yeah, there he is. Let me see. Image 2. There we go. If you want to, yeah, I'm gonna put this in the private chat real quick.
when it works.
Let's see. It doesn't. But it's a really really good movie. The Crow, and again, mixed on the sequels. The second one, I think that movie got fucked with. Absolutely got fucked with. For those who know the story of it, but it's shot really well. City of Angels shot gorgeously. In fact, I actually like the cinematography in City of Angels more than the original movie. I just think the setting in and of itself of like that hazy yellowish LA area, which I forget the name of the town in that movie because City of Angels is not my favorite, is just so striking. And it's Detroit's striking in the original Crow, but City of Angels, man, fuck, that movie is so beautiful looking, but it's such a mess when it comes to the script. But
Yeah,
Salvation, I actually kind of like.
I'm actually the opposite.
You're the opposite. You like City of Angels more?
Yeah, I didn't really like Salvation.
Fair enough. I think we could both agree, though, or I don't know if you've seen it, that Wicked Prayer sucks.
I have not seen Wicked Prayer.
Don't. It's
I'm
awful.
not. I mean, I will only do it just to complete the franchise
Right, like as a marathon thing. I get that.
because I've seen the others. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's that for you. And I actually have the unpopular opinion that I did not hate the remake.
I'm sure it's better than the likes of Wicked Prayer and stuff, but I can't, man. I respect it, but I
Oh,
just can't
did
see
somebody
that
cut my
movie.
connection because I didn't hate the remake?
Your IP, they decided to be like, hey, ooh, bad take. Let's cut his Wi-Fi out. No. I respect your opinion. I think it's a valid opinion, but I just can't do it. I think I'm
If you
just
can't
gonna.
do it, totally fair, man. It's okay. But for me,
Your connection again. I'm sorry. Poor Luke, man. I'm so sorry, dude. I can't. You're frozen again.
why do they keep doing this to me?
I
Because I
don't
like
know.
the remake of The Crow?
Damn, that's pretty cruel of your internet provider.
Oh my god. What I was going
But
to say was because I looked at it through a
mhm,
different lens. I looked at it as a
mhm.
gothic revenge thriller. I didn't look at it as a remake of The
As
Crow.
just a separate movie.
I think it stood well on its own, in my opinion.
That's fair. I don't think I'll plan on seeing it, but I can respect your opinion on it. Absolutely.
But I'll give you this
Um,
though.
mhm,
I'll give you this. They don't
yeah.
water it down.
I'm sure the
Still R-rated.
trailers looked gory. It was
I mean,
CGI, but I mean, as long as it's at least it's
the
R
gore for
rated.
the most part is, even though the CGI is the CGI splatters, there is blood on the floor. Like,
Okay, so like practical like blood drippings and things like of that nature.
there
All
is
right.
still practical blood. Like,
You know what I've said for the longest time though?
what's that?
That while I wouldn't be happy with the remake of The Crow, I would be happy with a remake of, and this is, I'm actually not even saying this to diss you at all. I would be happy with a remake of City of Angels. Or a director's cut, because the footage
I
is
wouldn't mind
lost.
that either, actually.
Because I think that movie needs it. You know what I mean? Like, I know you like it, and that's fair, but I think it needs it. Or at least the director's cut, because there's a ton of footage of that movie that you can only see as, like, stills and stuff.
Well, to
And
be
that sucks.
fair, actually, I know you're not dissing me.
Mhm.
I actually
Yeah.
agree with you. Like,
Yeah, you know what I
I
mean?
actually agree.
I mean, it would
Even
just
though I
add
like
to the
the
movie.
film, I
It
like
could
the
use
movie,
more.
but yeah, there was now that you say that, I'm like, I would like to see a director's cut or at least a remake of it.
Because there was a lot happening behind the scenes of that movie. The Weinsteins fucked with it. And you know, I would just love to see that footage resurface because, you know, we've only ever seen it in like stills galleries and stuff like that. But yeah, I would love to see that. But you know what I also would love to do? I would love to see Alex Proyas's other films because I've only ever seen The Crow. I've never seen Dark City or iRobot or Knowing. Don't plan on seeing Gods of Egypt.
Just don't unless you want to get stoned and laugh your ass off.
Well, unfortunately, well, actually, not unfortunately, because I personally am fine either way with this, but I don't smoke, so I'm sure sober that movie's god awful. Oh my god. I
I
remember
think
the
that's the best.
trailers.
I think that's like the best way to watch that film, or just act like you're
Yeah.
stoned when you watch it.
Or watch it with a group of friends and just fuck around and just laugh at it.
Like pick that movie apart like Mystery Science Theater or something.
Absolutely, because I remember when they were doing the marketing for that. Even as a kid, I'm like, this looks ridiculous. Oh my god.
As a
But
dumb kid though, I still actually thought it was kind of fun. But then looking back on it, I'm like, what is this?
yeah, it looks like a mess. It looks like a. But Dark City looks really good. Dark City looks like
Dark
something I
City is
like a
great. That's a
lot.
wild, trippy movie.
That looks like that looks like something I'd absolutely love if I ever get
That
the
movie
chance
is
to see.
trippy, dude. It's trippy.
I've heard it. I've heard it's like I've heard it's really really atmospheric too, kind of like The Crow but different. So I'm really looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing that movie.
But actually, speaking on The Crow, though, can I tell you another
Mm-hmm.
thing also about the remake?
What about it?
So there's this one scene when Bill Skarsgård, who plays as Eric Draven, gets pushed out of a moving vehicle and is run over by a truck.
Oof.
You actually see his leg. You actually see his leg broken. Like you see his bone sticking out.
Damn.
And I'm like, people can't give it credit for this.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm
least
sure
not
it has
holding
some.
back.
Oh, I'm sure it has some moments of brutality, like you said. I mean, seeing a man's legs run over on screen is pretty brutal. So,
Well, you don't technically see his well, you do see him get run over, but it's more like a wide shot.
right. It doesn't go in detail on it, or like a close up of his legs or the tires or whatever running him over. But
You
yeah,
see like the aftermath of it, like of his leg being broken, and then him having to kind of like snap it back in a little bit.
I'll say this also. Right, because that's when he is the Crow and has regenerative abilities. That must
But he
be
doesn't get
brutal
the
though.
makeup
Flinching.
until like towards the end of the movie. That's
So
what
he
that's
doesn't.
what people were really pissed off about, was that he doesn't wear the makeup until like towards the end of the movie.
I know that's not like a major part, but it's iconic. Come on, like
And I'll tell you this much: I actually like his makeup. Like I actually
I
like Bill
think
Skarsgård's makeup.
I can't remember how much of it they've shown in the trailers. I know they showed like the black eye linings, but I didn't see too much white paint on his face. Oh no, yeah, they did. They did. I remember it.
I'll tell you this much.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they didn't want to use like white face paint or give Bill Skarsgård like a mullet like Brandon Lee has was because they did not want to disrespect his look.
I'll at least get. I can respect that. I can respect. I can respect not wanting to diss him in that manner. I can give credit where credit is due in that sense.
But the only thing that people even really give credit for in that film is the Opera House fight, because that's like the only like memorable action scene to them. But I mean, that's fair. But like, don't say like the film is a disaster because there's like one good scene. Because that scene actually deserves that scene actually deserves like what like that scene alone is like a 5-star worthy movie.
God damn, how good is that fight scene? Jesus Christ.
That fight scene is incredible, dude. It's incredibly bloody.
Huh.
I mean, you see a little bit of it in the trailer. Like you see him get stabbed in the back with a sword, and the way that he has to and he kills the guy by shooting himself through.
That is creative. So where would it rank in your top 24? Top 2024?
I have seen. Let me take a look at my list again. I have to keep going in and out of my StreamYard just to look at my list. I have seen 164 movies for this year.
That came out this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that many.
Impressive.
And it is at 87 out of 164.
So that means at least 87 films have been really good to you this year. That's good.
Well, let me actually give you this much context here. 78 through 97 on my list are 3.5-star movies, and The Crow is one of them.
Okay, so The Crow's a 3.5, so it's a good movie in your eyes.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good movie. I when I did my review for it, most people actually respected my opinion. Like, they actually understood that I enjoyed the film, and I wasn't ashamed to say it.
Okay.
Like I'll actually I'll go to my my YouTube studio thing really quick, and I'll read you a couple of comments that I've gotten
from people.
Yeah, from my obviously my Crow review.
Gotcha.
If I can find it. Let me see. Okay, so this is a pretty long comment, but I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this one. It says, as the OG Crow is one of my all-time favorite films, I won't be wasting money to see this. At some point, if it comes to Tubi or whatever, I may give it a gander. I did a trailer reaction a while back and felt I was fair in both my bias and my approach to the trailer itself. But judging by some reviews I have seen outside of yours, a lot of them hit on what my concerns were watching the trailer, so I think the negativity is justified. However, entertainment is subjective, so if you enjoyed the film, there is nothing to be ashamed about that.
That's a very respectable comment.
You see, people like the guy at least understands that I'm not just being generous for the sake of being generous to a movie.
Right, and again, like you said, like what you get out of it is subjective to you. So if you enjoyed it, and that's what matters.
Yeah. And this other guy said, even if I may not agree with you, I respect your honesty.
Again, very nice.
I've gotten comments saying like good review. Okay, the first part of this comment said what I felt like is a little bit unfair to say. Said I feel like all the hate is YouTubers and online critics following suit to get clicks. That's a little unfair. But that's maybe how somebody feels like because they also enjoyed it. Said
Okay.
you sir did a fair and honest review. Mad respect to you and your channel.
Right.
Like I said, the first comment is part of the comment is a little bit.
Well, yeah, because I don't think everyone just does a hate review to do a hate review necessarily. I think
there are some that I think do that just to do it.
100%. No, absolutely. There are some people who are drones and just have the normie opinion and all that. But I think there's a lot of people who are genuine about it because it's a very important movie to a lot of people. So, including myself. So, you know.
I mean, it's kind of important to me now. So maybe if I watch the remake again, I might have a different lens with it.
Right.
But then again, though, I'm still not going to look at the remake like.
You're not going to dislike it to a degree.
I don't want to look at it like this as the same movie.
Right, right.
Because if I look at it as the same film, then I won't even like it.
Right.
So, because
you're viewing it as your own thing.
Yeah, because I was seeing Deadpool and Wolverine the second time with my best friend because he was like, bro, I want to go see that again. And I'm like, okay, relax, we'll go. So we went to it. And before the movie started, we checked the Rotten Tomatoes score for The Crow, and it was really low, so we were really worried. So the next night I was doing a double feature. I saw Blink Twice first, and then after that I saw The Crow. And then my best friend and I both disagreed with the critics.
He enjoyed it as well?
Yeah, he did. I mean, I don't know if he's seen the original, but he definitely knows the story about what happened with Brandon Lee.
Okay.
But if he hasn't seen the original like in full, I will have to show him the original.
Definitely do so. It's a classic.
And another thing that my best friend kind of has, like when it comes to how he can enjoy films, he kind of has a little bit of a limit when it comes to like runtime.
I mean, that's kind of fair.
If it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, that's when he kind of starts to draw the line to see if it's actually needed. So that's why he, like, again, this is just him, and plus he doesn't watch a ton of movies like I do.
Right.
So, like when I took him to see Furiosa, that was my second time. I was taking him for his first time. He wasn't a huge fan of it because he thought there was he thought it was really slow and overstuffed for that kind of film. And also I think him and I both agree that the green screen in that film is actually pretty distracting.
I've heard the digital effects in that movie are pretty hefty.
Like the more I think about it, I'm like the green screen and some of the CGI is noticeable as hell.
Damn.
So I actually kind of like respect his take for it, and I guess that's kind of another reason why he wasn't as hard on The Crow, was because it wasn't like a 2.5 hour movie. It's an hour and 50 minutes.
Okay, so it's just a little bit longer than the original.
Yeah. So and plus that kind of character has like piques his interest a little bit more than like Mad Max or something.
Okay, so he's not like into the full on apocalyptic epics, more like a quick 90 to 100 kind of movie.
Well, there's a couple exceptions. Like,
okay,
I know he loves Across the Spider-Verse. I know he really liked Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And I know he did enjoy Doom Part 2, but he thought that one was too long.
I mean, I almost kind of agree with him. The only difference is that I can definitely enjoy even a 3.5 hour movie if it's well done.
I told him about that. It's like if he wants to, like some films that are that long have to earn the runtime.
Yeah. I also think that even a 90-minute movie can be slow. It just depends on what you do within the pacing.
Yeah,
Like certain movies,
I think that's the best way to put it.
there are 2 hours movies that feel like 30 seconds, and there are 90-minute movies that feel like 3 hours. It's really just how much is going on story wise, action wise, whatever the hell within that runtime that makes it entertaining.
Like the second time I saw Beetlejuice, like there's a lot that goes on in that film. The second time I watched it, it felt like 20 minutes.
Well, see, there you go. Then it was a very fast-paced film for you. Speaking of horror films, I have rented, because I've heard it's quite good, In a Violent Nature on YouTube, which I look forward to watching.
That is a slow burn, dude. That is a big slow burn.
I've heard that's a massive slow burn, but
I will tell you though, one certain kill is incredible in that movie. You'll know which one I'm talking about when you get to it in the movie.
Right. I've heard that this movie has some fantastic practical kills, especially I've heard, all I know is that it involves yoga.
That's the one I'm referring to.
I'll have to keep an eye out for it. But I also heard it's like
I'll tell you this, though.
I heard it's like art house Friday the 13th.
It is. But I'll tell you this much though, without spoiling anything about the yoga kill. When the kill started, I was like, oh, that's it. But then when it kept going, I was like, oh, okay. There you go. Now we're cooking.
Are we talking like Terrifier levels?
I'm not going to say that much, but I'm not going to say much on that. Like, I want you to see it for yourself.
I'll have to check it out. Would you say that it's a worthwhile...
Speaking of Terrifier, actually, believe
Terrifier 3?
Steven, you're going to like this, dude. Mm-hmm. Friday, I am seeing Terrifier 3.
Nice. Please tell me your thoughts on that, because Terrifier 3 is my most anticipated movie for the remainder of the year. Unfortunately, I may not get the chance to see it, at least until next week. Because...
I'll tell you this much, though. Mm-hmm. Like, when I do see it, keep your eyes on Letterboxd.
I know you're going to review that. I know you're going to review that for sure.
Like, not just on Letterboxd, but I will do a video review for it, because I did review the first two.
Okay, I'll have to check that out then.
But dude, I'm so excited. I'm taking my best friend to it, and
does he do horror?
What?
Does he do horror?
I've taken him to some horror movies, and if you were there for our experience with Saw X the first time, you probably would have laughed at him.
Really?
He was a little squeamish.
How squeamish?
You've seen Saw X, right?
I have not. That's actually the only Saw film I haven't seen.
Oh, no. Then I can't say anything.
Okay.
I can't say it. I can't say it, dude. You gotta.
But was his reaction ridiculous?
There was actually a couple of times where I saw him covering his eyes, and I turned to him and I'm like, "You little pussy, take your hands away from your eyes. Look at the screen."
Lol.
But I think this one's probably gonna push it.
But let me ask you a question. With Terrifier 3, I really hope I get to see it in theaters, because I don't know if you know, but Milton, I'm not in the area that the hurricane's going to hit, but at least, no, I'm in Florida, but I don't think it's going to hit my county as hard as Tampa. But because of that, I'm probably not going to go to the theaters. With that being said, I do plan on seeing it next week, because there's no way in hell I'm going to see this shit on digital. No way in hell.
You feel like you have to go to a theater to go see it.
Yeah.
I was on a call with my buddy Jacob Hubbard. You met him on one stream. I was calling him one day, and him and I were talking about Terrifier, and he said, Dude, with how much you love Terrifier 2, you really should go see Terrifier 3 in theaters. And so that's why I took his word for it. And I'm very, very... I'm actually a little bit nervous with how it's going to be with the gore.
Mm-hmm.
Even, again, I love 2. Don't get
Well,
that
nervous.
wrong.
That's the fun part.
I'm a little nervous with how it's going to go, though, because I heard, I heard that, I think it was, from, I don't know what it was. It was somebody over Instagram that said that Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton almost puked while filming one scene.
Oh, shit, really? Damien?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm like, a little nervous. Because I don't want to do the same.
Oof. And apparently he's already filming for the 4th film.
He kind of described 2 as his version of Dream Warriors, which is very valid.
He said that the 3rd one's supposed to be slightly a harken back to the first movie.
I heard there's more kills than 3, though.
Yeah, I've heard 3 is... I heard it doesn't have... Because I watched Cody's review, right? Cody Leach, I'm sure you're familiar with him.
Yeah, of course. I watched his review, too.
And he said that while there isn't a kill that tops the bedroom scene, then again, who can top the bedroom scene, right? He said something that has me curious. He said there's a shower kill that's almost there. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what the fuck is this? Is this going to be like some over-the-top, like extreme buckets of blood homage to Psycho or some shit?
I don't know. We'll see. Speaking on gore, though, I did... I don't know if you saw this, but I did interview the guy that played Tigger in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and
I
Ice.
actually saw the thumbnail for that, and I want to say that I am very proud. Not of you. That's a big accomplishment. How was he? Was he a nice guy?
He is a great guy.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I replied to his story one time. I think a couple days ago. He took a screenshot of a tweet and then put it on his Instagram story. And somebody said that while I'm suffering through the mousetrap, I kept thinking back to how great Tigger was in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go to my
TikTok or whatever.
Actually, really quick.
Okay.
Actually, just for the hell of it, I'm gonna take a screenshot.
All right.
Just so you can see it.
And I've heard that Winnie the Pooh 2 is a lot better than the first film.
It is. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can get the thing and overlay here. Okay. Yeah, I got it. But yeah, I'm finally lucky I'm going to see this bastard on the big screen.
I fucking love that poster. I absolutely adore that poster. I hope when it comes to Blu-ray that they put that shit on the slipcover, because Terrifier 2 has one of my favorite posters ever in any movie. Horror movie, that is. I hope Terrifier 3...
That's why I have 3 copies, because
yeah,
not only is the movie great, but I love all the covers.
Oh no, yeah, the my favorite is the regular Blu-ray cover, to be honest with you, because I just love him holding up like the little bell and the knife over the pumpkins. But I love the 4K steelbook.
That's a bicycle horn.
Oh, I'm sorry, bicycle horn. My bad. Over the pumpkins, but I also love the steelbook cover as well for the 4K. The standard cover where he's holding that wooden plank is cool, but there's something about Art the Clown hovering over those pumpkins. It's just really cool to me.
Mm-hmm. Or should I say his timber?
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna call it. Like when Brooke pulled out the timber, I'm like, and then he pulled out his. I was like, his timber's way cooler than yours.
Dude, I really hope.
You actually want to know something I kind of questioned though, like before.
What?
before Allie was killed in the bedroom.
What?
Like when Art the Clown was chasing her, I was like, how? You should have just. I thought I was like, why would you not run out the broken window? Because that's what I would do.
Right, but then again,
Like,
well, hold on.
really
Then again, her bedroom
he could have ran out the broken window.
Right, but her bedroom, because I think it was like a 2-story house, right?
Yeah, it is.
If she fell out the window, there's a chance she would have broke her foot.
That still would add some effect, though. To be fair, though, that actually would add some effect, and then Art the Clown would do probably just as much outside.
Yeah. He was a dick, though. I mean, he rubbed salt in her damn back.
And ripped half of her face off, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And then, when her mom walked in the room, he was cutting her up into pieces.
I kind of wish we saw the mom kill. We only saw the aftermath.
And when you see her head as the trick or treat bucket, I'm like, oh my god, dude, that is so fucked up, man.
He is handing it to the fucking kids. Oh my goodness.
That is fucked up, man.
That fucked. Absolutely fucked. Oh my goodness.
Okay, you ready to see the message?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull it up on screen and then I'm gonna read it out loud. So I said, that tweet reminds me of myself when I was watching The Mousetrap. He liked it. He said, love that.
Hey, and he has the tiger emoji. That's awesome, man.
He gave me,
and he even liked
a
your
rock
comment.
on and a hands with hearts emoji.
He even liked your original comment as well. That's cool.
Dude, he's a great guy. I asked him if we could schedule an interview, and he rolled with the idea.
And he enjoyed the whole time?
Yeah, I mean,
that's
even
awesome.
though we did have a little technical difficulty for at least 1 minute, but
that's fine. It happens.
But I loved getting to talk with him, and there's one. I'm not gonna spoil anything else about the film, but I'll tell you one kill that we talked about.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll tell you one kill. Everything else, not gonna say anything. So we talked about his favorite kill. It's the one where he's stabbing this girl's feet with his claws, going like, "Dance, bitch."
Damn.
Yep. So once he actually gets her foot, pulls down there's a little collar that's hanging down from the side, pulls it down, and then goes.
Starts punching it.
No, are my hands clenched? Not scratching.
They were clenched.
Not scratching.
Stabbing with his hand.
Yep, with his claws.
Oh shit!
He was stabbing the crap out of her,
and his whole fingers and claws went through her.
Yeah, you don't technically see it go through her on screen,
right?
But do you know those little above ground floors that have holes in them, like diamond holes?
Yeah.
But those were actually the kind of holes that they used for that.
Okay. And is it true that blood?
And then but the reason why I'll give you the 2 reasons why it was his favorite kill was because there was actually a makeup artist that was just pouring buckets of blood on him.
And he probably enjoyed that.
Yep. And then after the kill was done, most kills in horror films are like, okay, great. Great job, guys. On to the next one.
Right.
He looked at everyone else on set, and then they had this disturbed look on their face, and they were like, "Okay, that was fucked up."
Damn.
That was.
So it wasn't a quick. It wasn't a quick pass on to the next shoot. There was a moment of what the fuck did we just film?
Yeah, but what were you gonna ask?
Is it true that Blood and Honey 2 is vastly better than the first?
Much better. Even though after that interview, I actually have kind of gained a little bit more of a soft spot for the first.
Mm-hmm.
But am I going to say that it's as of now, I gave it 3 stars out of 5, mostly because of the connection I have with Lewis.
Right.
but because plus I enjoy watching the film from time to time as a guilty pleasure.
Right.
But am I going to say that it's a good movie? No.
Right. It's
I will
just
say it's a good film for like my
popcorn.
bias,
Right.
like for bias reasons.
Like subjectively, you enjoy it.
Yes, but I will acknowledge objectively it's not good.
Again, though, it has the greatest. It has objectively the greatest bitch slap in any movie.
Wasn't it?
He slashed that dude's face in half.
He karate chops it in half.
It looks like a slap when he's raising it in the air, though. I want to imagine it as a slap. It was fucking hilarious, though. Oh my god.
It's a karate chop, though. Like,
I know, but it looks like a slap so bad. But
but
yeah, no, it is a chop.
You actually want to know what my favorite kill in the film was?
What?
It was the car kill.
In Blood and Honey 1?
Yes.
Was that the one where he squished that dude's head with the car? I can't remember that.
It's a girl's head.
Okay, right.
Like they have this girl tied up, and then it's on Natasha Ticini. Because how do I know that? Because apparently Lewis and her are dating. So there you go.
Ah, okay.
Little connection with that. So
Tigger and the original girl are dating?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Very good.
So I found that out, and then what happened was so they tie her up, and when Pooh is in the car, I don't know how he can drive a car.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing I question with how can Michael Myers drive a car.
Right.
And then Piglet has her foot down on her. And actually, the first time I saw that, like I knew Pooh was in the car, but I was like, "Is some kinky shit about to happen?" Well, that's just me being stupid. But so yeah, then slowly drives the car, just slow and slow, until we get the wheel on her head, and we see her eye like on the on the concrete, and I'm like, that's actually kind of disturbing.
It's fucked. It is absolutely fucked.
And then her head gets crushed, even though it's off screen.
Right.
But the fact that
I remember there was a little bit of CGI
though. They don't show you. The fact that they don't show you like they show you the aftermath, but the fact that they don't show you like during the kill actually kind of makes it a little bit more creepier, in my opinion.
Well, you want to know? Well, I think there was a little bit of CGI from what I remember in the midst
with the
of
blood, with like the blood coming out. It's definitely CGI, but
yeah,
but like the fact that we didn't see like how it happened like during the kill, I was like, that's creepy. Like that's actually kind of insane. Even though I wish, even though for an indie horror,
I mean, I'm not like the hugest guy on off-screen kills, but I can respect it when it's done well.
Or when
I guess that wouldn't even count
when it
as
makes
off-screen.
sense to do a cutaway kill.
Yeah,
like
I guess that wouldn't count as off-screen though, because technically you do see some of it in progress. You don't see her like finally die.
So I would say it's a cutaway kill.
Yeah, cutaway kill because you see halfway through into the kill.
The only couple of times that they're not cutaway kills, the one when Piglet smashes Zoe's face with a hammer.
Yeah.
You see it obscured in the background that her face was blown off. And I thought to myself, how did a sledgehammer blow a girl's face off?
I mean, it could do some serious damage, but to blow that shit entirely, I don't know. I mean, it'll just have like a really nasty gash.
Either that or if someone put a shotgun into that sledgehammer.
Yeah, right?
Because if it was a shotgun, dude, her face would be blown off.
Absolutely. Her head would probably be blown off a good chunk of it, too, if it was a shotgun. But
like how it is for a certain guy that Bill Skarsgård kills in The Crow.
Ah, so there's like a shotgun blast.
Plus, you see it in the trailer.
I thought that was in the chest. That was in the But are you talking about the part where they were in like the bathroom in the trailer and he like gets out like that pump action and he like shoots him? I thought that was in the chest.
No, when the other guy shot Eric, it was in the chest. But when he killed the other guy, it was in the face.
Ah, okay.
When Eric killed the guy that shot him, it was in the face.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, oh, you clever son of a gun. Right in the face.
Shotguns to the face in horror. Even if it's CGI, I could still kind of appreciate that they'd go that route. Just because it's a nasty thing to see, and that's what adds to the entertainment
But the
value.
but the other kill that wasn't like entirely cut away was in the first Blood and Honey was when he breaks this dude's arm. He goes down and then he does a Halloween 2018 thing, which is stomp this guy's face in.
You mean the watermelon? Where fucking I call it the watermelon because when Michael Myers steps on the doctor's head, it's as if a watermelon explodes. That is like a fucking ridiculous. You remember what I'm talking about?
But the one in Blood and Honey was like more bone crunching.
Gotcha.
Like
yeah, it felt
you kind of heard like
crunchier.
the sound effects, and like you kind of heard the sound effects like when Pooh like stomped his face in. Like not just like the blood spurting out, but like
right,
like when he's like rubbing his foot in there, it's like you kind of hear like it's like bones cracking, you know.
You're still talking about the first one because I'm trying to remember if that.
Yeah, it is the first one. It is the first one.
Gotcha.
But then for somehow he slices a dude's face, but he doesn't even have a knife in his hand.
True.
That's the weird part. How do they have a knife in his hand?
You know what's the weirdest part about Blood and Honey 1? When he does like that power of bees or whatever, and that guy's running away, and he just summons bees from his hand to go attack that guy.
But here's the thing that makes absolutely no sense about the movie.
What?
It's when the two girls are trying to get away from Pooh. She slams on the brakes to get Pooh off of the car.
Right.
It cuts to black and then slowly fades back in. And then they wake up and her head is completely bleeding. And you get a little wide shot of the car and like where they're at, and nothing is even in their way.
Yeah, like if they had like impact, I'd get that, but that doesn't make sense.
Dude, not even an airbag would do that.
No, not even.
Airbags could
an airbag is what
knows, but
right. Well, it depends on like how much I guess the airbag hits you in the face or whatever the hell.
But for the most part, though, they wouldn't make your head bleed. Depending on how hard they hit, though, it would definitely be most of the time. Though, it'd be a nosebleed.
Yeah,
like not
at the very best.
It's not like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like. How do I say this? I'm not trying to compare the two because they're very different from one another. It's like when Johnny Knoxville fell on the concrete floor and hit his head against it and split his head like a melon.
Oh my god!
In the first Jackass movie.
Oh my god!
It's because he was fighting Butterbean, the boxer, in a swap meet, and dude, he is dude. Butterbean is strong, dude. He's a strong guy.
His head. And split
so
it?
Because Butterbean knocked Knoxville out on his feet. Okay. And he falls and then hits his head against the concrete floors. And he said it split his head like a melon.
Oof.
But so yeah, that was definitely concussion.
Wow.
Steven, you're not going to believe this. I want you to guess how many concussions Knoxville has had.
Okay, he's been doing this Jackass shit for a while, so maybe 5?
More than that.
7?
More than that.
10?
You're in the correct. I'll say you're in the correct range, but more.
15?
A little more.
Oh, okay. Just 16?
16 concussions.
Oh my god. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, no joke. He's had 16 concussions.
I don't mean this as any disrespect to the man, but are you sure that he's not? How is he not brain dead? I I'm not a doctor, but 16 concussions. What is he, a football player or some shit? What the fuck?
I don't know, dude, but the last time he had a concussion was the last time he got a concussion almost cost him his life.
I'm surprised that it only took until the 16th concussion for it to cost him his life. What the hell? Oh
But he
my
can't.
god.
But he promised. He made a promise. Even if he does another one, he promised his kids that he wouldn't do any more stunts that where he would get another concussion.
Yeah, I mean, Daddy's got to come home at some point.
Well, and plus he's in his
Holy
50s
shit.
now, so
Yeah, I think it would be a very bad idea for him to pull another stunt. But wow.
like he can still pull stunts. Like he doesn't care if he like breaks his arm or leg or something like that. He doesn't care about that.
No, it's just an arm or leg.
Or hell, if he broke his hand or something like that, he doesn't care.
I almost have to respect how little of a fuck this guy has for his own safety. There's almost a sense of respect.
I still have to respect. I will always respect the guy for that. Like he puts
no one
his
has
life
the
on
balls.
the line for this shit, dude.
No one has the balls to do that kind of shit. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, holy shit. 16 concussions. I would hate to be this man's doctor.
The last one that he got was another bull stunt because that was the one where he got a broken wrist, broken rib, and the concussion was a brain hemorrhage. So he spent the weekend in the hospital.
Oh my god!
And it took him a few months to recover, like fully.
What the fuck?
But he knew he would. But I'll tell you this though, he knew he was in trouble though because when he was in the back of the ambulance, they were asking him basic questions like, "Who's the president now?" And he said, "Obama."
Oh no.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that he was in trouble.
His brain was not doing too good.
Yeah. So
do you think I know that was at the moment, but do you think it's had a permanent effect on his intelligence and mental, like being able to understand shit a little bit?
But this was like a few years back, so it's like it.
Right.
He's good now. Like,
thank God.
It's just by the time it happened, it took him a few months to recover from fully.
Jesus Christ! Wow, I'm truly blown away.
But I have to give mad respect to the guy because he, like.
Well, I mean, it is pretty crazy that he would do all this shit.
Like one of the films that he did is called Action Point. That was the most times he's been injured on doing any movie in his life.
Not one of the Jackass stuff?
Nope, it was Action Point. Because let's see, he broke his hand, busted his meniscus, got whiplash, got stitches over his eye, lost a couple teeth, and 4 concussions.
Oh my god. So 4 out of the 16 were just for that one movie. And he broke teeth.
Yep. And the Alpine Slide stunt is the one that we mostly talk about because that was the craziest one out of all of them for him. Because like when he was doing it, it was like he's just like, I'll let my feet hit and take it on the shoulder, but he didn't think about what would follow his shoulder, which is his face. So, and he hits his face pretty hard on the ground after he falls off the slide. So he goes to the so they rush him to the emergency room. He gets checked out, and then it was for one of the concussions. He goes home. He's got a little blood on his nose, so he blows his nose. And when he blew his nose, his left eye popped out of its socket.
No.
It was like the more he blew, the farther it was coming out, because he said he had powdered a bone like on like over here. It's not, he didn't break it. It's like it just completely like disappeared.
Like it disintegrated.
Like it felt like it disintegrated, yeah. And
his eye popped out of his skull.
Yeah, so basically he goes to so he popped his eye back in. He calls his executive producer and he's like, dude, I need to go back to the hospital. Dude, my eye just popped out. And he's like, ah, ha, ha. The producer's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. And he's like, and Johnny's like, John, my eye just popped out. And he goes, I'll be right there. So,
whoa,
the guy has really bad allergies, and the doctors say that he can't sneeze or blow his nose for 6 weeks.
How does he control that? How does he control not to sneeze? What the fuck?
And there was and a few days later, he said he was walking out with Pontius, and they were coming back from a bar, and he said something funny, and he said something funny, and he held it, and he was like, and held his nose and blew, and then he goes doink again, but that time he was wearing a pirate patch, so he just pushed on the patch to put it back in.
Oh my god.
I know, dude. Johnny Knoxville has gone through some crazy stuff, dude. Oh, wait. Oh, dude. You ready to hear the craziest one out of the bunch?
Please. I'm surprised that there's crazier than this.
Okay, so insane. When he was he did a part in Matt Hoffman's tribute to Evel Knievel thing, where he was going to try to backflip a motorcycle, which he can't do. He did it tried to do it 3 or 4 times. One guy warned him that he can't, when he goes off the ramp, he can't let go of the bike, because otherwise it's going to turn into a missile and go 40 feet in the air and land on you. So that's pretty obvious right there.
All right.
But he's not listening, because usually he doesn't listen to that kind of stuff because he just wants to get the stunt done.
What do you mean he doesn't listen to that kind of stuff? It's his life.
So the last time he did it, he goes off the ramp, he lets go of the bike, and he falls down. He falls down in his bag, and his knees are behind his ears, and then the bike comes down and breaks its handlebars off of his crotch.
His poor testicles.
So, but he stood up and he felt like he was peeing himself.
But it was blood.
But the problem was, every time his heart would beat, blood would shoot out of his penis. So they had to rush him to the hospital. And
what the fuck?
So he had to do a catheter two times a day for 3.5 years.
Oh my god.
So yep. Case in point, he broke his penis.
He broke his damn cock. Every time his heart beat, blood started spurting out of that thing like an Evil Dead film. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
That's the one, and again, it's the one thing the guy said, do not let go of the bike.
And he let go of the bike because he just didn't listen.
He just completely ditched the bike. Again, he goes off the rim and lets go of it. And it's dude, you can't let go of the bike.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, I shocked you.
No, I'm blown away by this man. He's so fucking insane.
He's a daredevil, dude.
You're kidding. You're not kidding. Fucking eyes popping out, cock go bleeding, fucking knees. Oh my god, dude.
But here's like one of the craziest things that would have happened on set of number 2, Jackass number 2. That is. So when he does the big red rocket stunt, like where he launches himself off of a like big like rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's not like a rocket that you would go to space with. Be real.
Right.
So he launches himself. The first time the rocket actually there was actually parts of the rocket that explode.
Oh.
Like there was like a part of a metal rod that like blew out like close to his ribs.
And it stabbed him?
No, it didn't get him at all. Like it missed his ribs. It was like really close. Though to hitting it was actually pretty close though to hitting his ribs.
Thank God.
And then one metal rod goes back like 300 yards and goes between a couple of their department guys' ears.
Oof.
Because if it actually hit them though, they would have been decapitated.
Well, thank God. So it grazed their ears or it went past their ears?
It went past their ears.
Okay, good. So
it was like right between though. Like
okay, so if it hit, they would have been decapitated, and thankfully they didn't get decapitated, and they still cut their ears. Holy shit!
It didn't cut their ears, but it's just it went past. It just went past their ears.
Right. I'm saying like that's good to know. Thank God. Holy
that would have been a picture wrap day, dude.
Oh, he would have gone to jail. Thank God. Thank God. That did not happen.
But the second time they did it, it worked out. So
right, because I'm sure at that point they like actually tested it out to make sure that the metal or whatever the hell plating did not
the metal rods.
Oh my God.
I know it's crazy, but
I could see why people love this stuff. It's insane to know the amount of shit that actually goes down.
Yeah, like they don't do research ahead of time, obviously, because that would just ruin Jackass.
Yeah, if they did research, it would be a lot safer and a lot more boring.
Like, then how would they be able to pull off a jet engine stunt?
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm sure they do things in front of a jet engine.
I'm sure the most amount of research they do is the minimum to make sure they don't die. And that's it. That's it. And even then, they don't do a good job. Wow. Well, Luke, I'm going to head out, though. It's getting a little late for me.
Yeah, and I think we're going to call it here. So thank you, Stephen, for chatting with me for the last hour and a half.
All right.
Peace. And thank you, everybody that came in the chat for tonight, and we will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Have a good one.